The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, get ready for Chase to the Checkered. A combination of heavy rains and a little miracle going on just minutes away from Jennerstown Speedway led to the cancellation of last Saturday's races. So, in tonight's C2C, we'll meet a few drivers and get you ready for tonight's races, including the Jackaroo Sauces 250, presented by Coca-Cola. Chase to the Checkered starts now. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Due to inclement weather, Jennerstown Speedway canceled racing last Saturday night.
Well, we had persistent rain showers in the area from about 1 o'clock till 4, and we usually try to make a decision by 4 o'clock on whether to go or not to go, and we decided not to go. We had a lot of phone calls from around the area saying there was rain all around the Speedway and also at the Speedway at 4 o'clock, so we made the decision to go ahead and call the races off at 4.
Also, Jennerstown Speedway's EMTs were called to the mine site to help in the rescue effort, leaving the Speedway without an adequate amount of safety personnel.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a backup ambulance for Saturday night. We found out about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Along with the rain, everything just seemed to point to maybe we better cancel for Saturday night.
So, the C2C crew hit the road to meet and get a behind-the-scenes look at some of Jennerstown Speedway's drivers. Our first stop took us to what looked like a scene out of the movie Days of Thunder. To catch up to Roger Onstead, the driver of the number 73 street stock, we had to go down on the farm in Somerset County. And we found out that Roger wasn't really into racing until he came to a race and sat in the stands at Jennerstown Speedway.
About 10 years ago, I watched a race and went down to Jennerstown and watched a race and decided it looked like fun and I wanted to do it. So about 5 years ago, I worked with Bill Audie. He built a Detroit Iron car, same as the Charger. And I ran it for a year and decided I liked it, so I moved to this then.
But when you're in a division with the likes of Adam Kostelnik, George Nicola Jr., and Dink Colarusso, how can you get by and get into victory lane?
You gotta wait on them to screw up. I don't have enough. I mean, the cars are so equal, I don't have enough car to get by. You gotta wait on them to make a mistake in the corner. And if you can get under them, you can get around them, but you gotta wait for them to make a mistake to get under them right now. And it's just because it's that close together. The cars are that equal that you just have to wait on them to screw up. If they don't, you don't get around.
Or also told us about the camaraderie that exists in the street stock division.
As far as telling anybody secrets and stuff, you don't do that. But if they have a part or need a part that you have, you can give it to them. I mean, there's no problem there. Whatever it takes to get them out, you will help them do it. I mean, that's just the way. I mean, I'll help them, they'll help me. It's always been that way. Well, last year we ran double features and I wrecked the first feature and I was running third points and I actually had a guy give me a car to go out and run so I could hold my points. He gave up his points for that night to let me go run. I mean, that's how we are. I mean, I don't know how the other divisions are, but that's how street stock is.
Roger's goal is to move into the pro truck division.
I've seen guys come out of street stock and go right into late model, and I don't think that's the way to do it. Trucks are a little bit faster than we are. It gets you a little more. They're running the same tire, a lot of the same suspension, so it will get you a little ready for the late models. I think that'd just be the next place to go.
Pro trucks are Roger's goal, but he is currently 6th in the Sen West street stocks and is a consistent top 10 finisher. So be sure to watch for Roger Onstead in the number 73 street stock at Jennerstown Speedway. Now, we'd like to introduce you to one of the businesses that supports Chase to the Checkered in our Sponsor in the Spotlight segment. This week, let's visit Daniel Schaefer's in Hooversville.
We're a general store, basically, the old style of hardware, nuts and bolts, to refrigerators, stoves, furniture, carpeting, just about anything. We can probably pretty much go anywhere from almost building a house to totally furnishing a house here.
Some of the things that we carry are basically your larger items, like we have the high definition now. We carry projection TVs, we carry the new flat TVs. We're into electronics pretty heavy, home entertainment centers. Of course, in furniture, we have the bedroom suites, living room, and basically that's the larger items that we would carry, washers, dryers, and refrigerators, and things like that.
In addition to sponsoring Chase to the Checkered, Daniel Schaefer's has been involved in motorsports for a long time. Currently, they sponsor Barry Audi's number 75 late model. They also provide the motors for the number 18 Hurricane Motorsports JVC Chevrolet of Mario Gosselin. So for everything from hardware supplies to consumer electronics, from furniture to appliances, be sure to visit Daniel Schaefer's in Hooversville. Call them with your questions or visit them online at danielschaefersinc.com. They support Chase to the Checkered race fans, so be sure to support them. Coming up next on Chase to the Checkered, we'll sit down and talk with the driver of the number 92 Bud Light Monte Carlo, Jayme Bolkovak, to get an in-depth look at one of Jennerstown Speedway's up-and-coming stars. That and much more when we return to Chase to the Checkered. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Now, let's catch up with one of Jennerstown Speedway's fastest rising stars, Jayme Bolkovak. She's the driver of the number 92 Bud Light Monte Carlo late model. Jayme has been in love with racing since she was a child, and she had her plans set at a young age.
Ever since she's been old enough where she could walk and talk, it was like every time someone would stop her and say, Jayme, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm going to be a race car driver. That's Jayme. She eats, sleeps, and drinks races.
When she was 2 years old, I was dragging her to the races. And she was growing older. Everybody kept asking, Jayme, what are you going to do when you grow up? Well, I'm going to be a race car driver, she said. And so I kind of like made that dream come true to her.
My dad came to me because I always said I wanted to drive race cars and all that. And one day he just said, hey, you want to get into go-karting? And I'm like, go-karting? I'm like, those things go like 35 miles per hour. He's like, no. He's like, these things are fast. He's like, they go 65 miles per hour. I went out onto the track and I got out there and it was totally not what I expected. It was just so different. And those things were faster than I thought they were. I started getting the hang of it and I started picking it up. And then next thing I know, I spun out and went down over the hill, and it scared the crap out of me. But I got back out on the track, and they put me back up there, and I ended up finishing the race. And I was just happy that I finished. I was a little disappointed that I was so bad, but for never driving anything, and you know, I guess it was okay.
Her experience and success in the go-karts helped Jayme quickly advance to and succeed in the PA Legacy Division.
And Robbie Young, which owned Irwin RV, also ran the Legacy Division at that time. And I was talking to him about the cars because he knew Jayme raced go-karts because we raced locally up here in Jennerstown with the go-karts on Wednesday nights. And he says, how would you like to have Jayme come down and try out one of the Legacy cars?
My first lap, it felt really good to me. For never being in a car before, I didn't really know what good was, but to me the car felt decent. And then the second lap, I come around to take the Checkered. I was coming out of 4 and the sun got in my eyes because I didn't have a tinted visor yet. And I was like so mad because I had to let off. And I came in and I was kind of upset because I was like, I knew I could have done better. And they were looking at me and they're like, all the guys are like, you don't want to race Legacy cars, do you, Jayme? I was like, why? And they're like, well, you just like tied for like 3rd fastest time.
Jayme's success in the Legacy Division would bring her 2 consecutive Pennsylvania Legacy Regional Championships. But she was looking to move up the ladder quickly. Jayme would try her luck in the ASA.
It seems like a lot of guys around here that run late models and stuff, it seems like they kind of stay where they're at. It's really hard to get sponsorship, but we just had this brilliant plan that if we thought that if we could get out there and race a couple races, that maybe we could pick up a sponsorship, and then we can, we could adapt.
Jayme adapted very, very quickly. She got into that car and she was able to qualify the very first race down in Nashville. She qualified 26th out of 36 cars. And that's a remarkable feat right off the bat to be able to run in that series and be able to make a race right off the bat.
While Jayme drove well and had some success, the sponsorship money never came in.
Why we jumped from Legacy straight into ASA, maybe it was probably a little want to rush it, which I think I did. We should have ran some late model, and I admit that.
So even if I didn't get anything out of it sponsorship-wise, at least I could say we tried. My dad, he put a lot of heart into that, and he took a chance. Of course, we didn't get far with it, but who knows? Maybe someday that another opportunity will come up.
With the experience of the ASA and the drive to continue winning, Jayme and the team returned to the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series to compete in both the Legacy and Late Model divisions. In 2002, Jayme decided to concentrate solely in the Late Model division and sharpen her skills there.
Even though this is our third year, I actually consider this our first full year with the late model, because now we actually have the time to work with just the late models. The last 2 years, it was like no matter what happened, we always went with the Legacy car first, no matter which car was, ill handling. We tried to work on them both, but the Legacy car was our main priority because we were in the run for the championship both years, where even though we were trying to get the top 10 finish with the late model, it just seemed to me a championship seemed to be more important at the time. So it's a nice break for this year. We actually get to put all of our energy into one car.
But being the only woman driver in one of the most competitive divisions has brought with it some challenges.
I had got some comments made to me, but you know what? When I went out there and I beat them, I just kind of think that said it all. I didn't have to say anything back to them because of the fact that each week that I'd go out and beat them or finish second and they would finish behind me, that still just made me feel good about it. Racing's what I want to do. And no matter what anybody says to me, whether it's they say that I can't do it or any kind of comments like that, I just think to myself right now, I have a car and I am doing it, and I'm just having the greatest time of my life, and that's all that really matters to me.
I think that Jayme's got a lot of talent, not just because she's my daughter, and I'm very proud of her. She can't get that wrong, but I do think that she has a lot of talent, and she has a lot of guts, and she's driven so many times when she's been sick and she just had like her wisdom teeth taken out, and she's gone in and put her helmet on and she could barely get her helmet down over her face. And
she also was the first female to ever win a late model feature at Jennerstown Speedway. She has the determination and the guts to go out there and win, and also to run up front.
But with a great attitude, a strong work ethic, and a fast car, the future looks bright for the 22-year-old Bolkovak.
I consider myself a really strong force out there. Now I think that there are people out there that should be afraid because they know that I can go up and win, and they know I can run for second or third, and I'm going to be there every week.
Now, let's hear from USAR Hooters Pro Cup driver Charlie Ford. We caught up with him on Monday as he was testing the number 14 Sun Graphics Dodge.
Well, I think it's going to be a good show. I tell you, if I was a spectator, I wouldn't miss this show for nothing in the world. Them guys coming up here, they're getting ready for the championship races, so they'll come up here and run this race, and it's going to be a heck of a show. That's why we're up here today, getting this old Dodge squared away, and hopefully we can be competitive with it.
Coming up, we'll get you ready for the Jackaroo Sauces 250, presented by Coca-Cola, as well as the Blue Cheese Dressings 50 in the Naturally Fresh Late Model Challenge. That's next on Chase to the Checkered. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. Tonight, Jennerstown Speedway again welcomes the USAR for the Jackaroo Sauces 250, presented by Coca-Cola. When the USAR visited Jennerstown in June, it was a fantastic race. Number 01, Marty Lindley, led the majority of the race, but a great pit stop let number 73, Jeff Agnew, hop out in front for the lead. There were some hair-raising moments like this wreck in the backstretch that claimed the car of local driver Jeff Dunmeyer in the number 07, among others. Everyone held their breath after this incident involving Dale DeLozier. The specialists from Jennerstown Volunteer Fire Department were on the scene quickly to douse the reigniting flames. DeLozier was shaken, but okay. Agnew held the lead for the rest of the race and won the Naturally Fresh Foods 250.
They had us beat pretty bad there at the first of the race. I was radio in just crying to the guys, but we made us a couple good adjustments there when we came in for tires and gas, and the car seemed to get better and better as the sun went down over here.
We made a run at him and was long beside him, and the caution come out, and that could have been a difference in the race if we could have got in front of him. The caution would have come out because I believe we could have kept him behind us. But all in all, it was a good race, and we'll try to get him next time.
We finished fourth here the first time, and we've got some wins under our belt in the series already this year. So, we thought we had a race car that could win the first half, but, we'll take third and go home. I don't think there's any dents on it.
Agnew, Lindley, and Ross were followed by Hagerstown, Maryland's Eric Corbett and number 14, Charlie Ford, in the top 5. As we go into tonight's Jackaroo Sauces 250, Brian Ross currently holds the lead in driver points in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Northern Division. Jeff Agnew, Marty Lindley, Jay Fogelman, and Philip Rondo round out the top 5. Where do our local drivers sit in the points? Glenn Galt, who is a longtime veteran of Jennerstown Speedway, is currently in 10th place. Eric Corbett is in the 23rd position. Frieden's PA's Jeff Dunmeyer is currently in 31st position, and Wimber's Robbie Marhefka is in the 44th position in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Northern Division point standings. In addition to the excitement of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup race, Jennerstown Speedway will also feature Race 3 of the 5 50-lap races in the Naturally Fresh Foods Late Model Challenge Series. Race 2 was the Classic Caesar's Dressings 50. Number 98, Neil Brown, and number 10, Logan Dernoshek, were the front runners for the majority of the race. But late in the race, Dernoshek bumped the leader and spun him in turn 2. On the restart, McKeesport's Mark Catone took the lead in the 31 car and went on to win the Classic Caesar's Dressings 50.
Tell you what, it feels good. To finish first you must finish. It isn't over until it's over. Got to thank the crew. They just did a super job all day.
Catone was followed by Barry Audi, Brad Creighton, Charlie Kessler, and Jayme Bolkovak in the top 5 finishers of the Classic Caesar's Dressings 50. This week, it's Race 3 of 5 in the Naturally Fresh Foods Late Model Challenge Series, the Blue Cheese Dressings 50. In the points, Catone is in the lead, followed by Barry Audi, Mark Smith, Brad Creighton, and Bobby Henry in the top 5. Current Wheeler Brothers AC Delco Late Model Division points leader Neil Brown is riding in 6th. Charlie Kessler, Doug Bakioki, Jayme Bolkovak, and Logan Dernoshek round out the top 10 in the Naturally Fresh Late Model Challenge points. Tonight's Blue Cheese Dressings 50 is also a Spectator 500 race. Actually, make that the Spectator 1000. No one won the cash in the last race, so a lucky fan has a chance to pick up a cool grand if their driver wins. Be sure to get to Jennerstown Speedway for your shot at the prize. Then, next weekend, Arnold Palmer Motors presents 5 division racing with twin 15-lap Charger features, plus men's enduro. Admission is just $10, and kids 12 and under get in for free. In 2 weeks, Somerset Hospital presents Fan Appreciation Night. In addition to 5 division racing, we will again welcome the Super Mini Cup cars and ladies enduro. Admission is just $5, with kids 12 and under getting in for free. It's great racing at an even better price. Don't miss out. For more information about Chase to the Checkered, visit us online at chasetothecheckered.com. Did you miss an episode? Looking to buy tapes? Get to chasetothecheckered.com and you can order them. Visit chasetothecheckered.com. I'm Bubba Connor from 96.5 The Mountain. We'll see you next week with our special coverage of the USAR's presentation of the Jackaroo Sauces 250 presented by Coca-Cola, right here on Chase to the Checkered.